Hello everyone, this is Week in Review. I'm Ganem Hanna and happy to record this program for you on Thursday so you can watch it today and learn about the latest of our construction. I'm standing here in front of the property. As you can see, the sign coming soon of the building project. That sign been up there almost 12 years, if you can believe it. And finally, the Lord helping us fulfill our dreams and vision. Behind me is the building, what we call Studio One. We have total of 4 studios, but behind me again, Studio One, and behind Studio One is where the new building project will be taking place. I'm going to take you back there and kind of show you the progress. Again, this was taped on Thursday, but since it is Sabbath, you're watching this tape, I want to wish you all a very, very happy Sabbath. Let's go see the rest of it. As we stop here on the construction side, you notice the concrete slab behind me, and to my right, there's the construction panels have been put together until the next crew will arrive for the steel frame. We're not there yet. That's 4 more weeks to 6 more weeks for the steel frame to be delivered and erected on this property. But as you see, some of the siding walls are being built. And here behind me, I'm standing on a 13,000 square foot slab where it would house a variety of technology rooms all throughout the building. But this part of the building, basically from the edge, from the front of your screen to about where I'm walking back, will be one large room to house multi-purpose business needs. And then here behind me, where I'm moving further, there'll be a 2-story tier of rooms for a variety of technologies. And next to it, across the hallway, there will be another set of technology rooms. Both these will be 2nd story at about 14 or 16 various rooms housing various technologies are needed for our distribution and to continue our service throughout the world. Then there's going to be a lobby over in that corner, tying the existing Studio One into this facility. So there will be one main lobby existing here to my right, where all entrance will come in through that lobby, and it gives you access to the entire facility. Like I said, this is a downstairs, and then there's an upstairs. Actually, there's 2 upstairs tiers, and then there's this large multi-purpose room. We're a little bit ahead of schedule. Sometimes we fall behind schedule. Other times we make progress. I suspect a projected timeline, we should be done with this about November of this year, 2020. This is really exciting, long-lived and waited dream. By the power of God, things coming together according to plans. Lots of hard work, lots of pre-planning, lots of planning, lots of implementation taking place day by day. For those of us who have full-time jobs elsewhere, every day we come in here after hours to assess, make business decisions, construction decisions, and the very next day the contractor and his crew come in to do the work. Sometimes we go to minimum crew, and other times we go to maximum crew, depending on what is happening that day of construction. What I like to do next is take you into the pre-existing studio, which is one of 4, to show you also additional construction and remodeling plans will be taking place to supplement and complement this new addition. 1, we have to bring things up to code. 2, we got to make sure there's a continuity of construction and feeling and theme between this building and the other building, but also there are need to redo Studio One. It is 12 years old, actually 14 years old, and there's much remodel and construction needed in there. So let's go there next, and I'll show you what's happening and what about to happen there next. As you see, I'm standing here in front of the Studio One, and I say Studio One, I wish to remind you, we have 4 studios, and this is Studio One of 4, which it will be joint or connected to the new building. This was the old existing lobby area. We just torn down some walls, added some beams, knocked down some other walls here. There's a relatively small lobby to this building, but we kind of widened the space and created more space for traffic coming from that building into here. But walking into here behind me, you see the actual studio where LLBN conducts a lot of its productions, supporting many of our programs. One in particular you see from the stage is the Christian Connections. You've seen GPS, Searching for Answers. The new worship program comes from this location. The problem is we have outgrown this current layout, and the equipment room behind me that you will see in a few moments needs to be demolished, rebuilt in a different configurations, and reconstructed and rewired to support the new generation of equipment and the new generation of technologies coming from the new building. Everything has to be in sync and everything has to happen simultaneously. That puts a lot of pressure on us because we're all, again, full-time employees elsewhere, and we do this after hours with a minimum crew. It's kind of tough. So, but I'm going to talk to you in a few minutes about how we're going to change the layout of the studio. But now let's take a look in the back so you can understand what I'm talking about as well. So we stepped here inside what we call the video control room. This is where the director and his crew sits in this room selecting the various camera switches as you see on the program, as well as handle many other functions, graphics, and recording of the program. So this room is relatively small. It's about 10 by 8 feet deep. It's very tough to sustain operation in these conditions where 4 to 5 people have to squeeze into this one room for multi-functions. And they're literally sitting shoulder to shoulder, very cramped in this tight space. So the plan is we're going to remove all these electronics, put all new generation of electronics, knock the walls facing me, taking this room from current 8 feet width to 16 feet deep. That will help decompress the space and allow us to lay down new counters and rebuild and rewire the electronics suitable for this new function. So it'll be 16 by 12 as opposed to we're looking 10 by 8 right now. That's a major improvement for the space, and it should be good for the next 10 to 15 years. Moving out of this room, we're going to look at the audio room that is incorporating more electronics and a mix and match of different services in one little tiny room. And that room also will be decompressed. Let's go there. And now we have transitioned to the audio room. In normal circumstances, this room should be very quiet for the audio people to be able to listen and mix accordingly. Unfortunately, this room is also undersized and housing too many electronics that's unrelated to the audio room. The new building will help us also decompress and move a lot of this stuff over in the new building. And result of this reconstruction, we're also going to knock down this wall and this wall, extending this room from 8 by 10 to 12 by 14. So that will be some improvement, but it will also meet the future need of this facility. Now we're going to go back to the stage and talk to you about some of the changes that we are working on. Let's go there. So I just came out from the video and audio control room that we talked about into the center of Studio 1. This is where we shoot a lot of productions like Christian Connections, the new worship program, and many others. To my left, this entire wall right here, the white wall, will be torn down and removed completely to allow us to rebuild the audio and video control rooms to bring them out and give them more depth. This entire wall stage will be completely demolished and removed and substituted by a new stage right behind me. I'll be standing in the center of it. If it was built today, it will go from wall to wall, and it will come out about 18 feet from the back wall, giving us a wider stage and a deeper stage with a whole complete different look. as I'm showing you on my rendered pictures on the screen. This is not an artist rendered. This is just simple one that I drew together for the contractor to work from. And every inch of wire, everything will be completely torn down, removed, and new conduits, new cable runs, and new electronics will be installed in the video room, audio room, and in this studio as well, setting us good for the next 15 years. Directly across from me will be knocking a hole in the wall for 2 double-sided door to connect the new facility with the studio. So if you happen to walk during a production, you're walking from the back of the production and not walking in the center of the room as it will be, or as it is right now. So we're really excited about these changes, not because it's cool stuff, because it is much needed stuff to serve our compassionate Father in heaven with a whole new look and feel and reliable programming for our viewers to nurture essentially 8 television networks. But with the growth of the new building, that would allow us to quadruple our distribution worldwide. It is very essential. It is very and much and overdue needed changes to take place. So we're going to step out and talk to you a little bit more about the overall project and what's next. I'll see you outside. So as you see, folks, the property behind me, it's a good size space of growth for LLBN for now and for the future, but there's more to be inquired later on. But this is all to honor our God in heaven, to honor Him for all the great things He has done for us and all the things He has given us and all the things He is going to do for us and for all those who come to Him. I'd like to share with you 2 Bible verses. One says, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might." And another one comes to mind here from Colossians 3:17. "And whatever you do in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through Him." Folks, we're on a mission to reach out to the world, to bring every soul that we can reach out to with the word of Jesus through 8 television networks. Nonstop and tirelessly, we continue to broadcast His message into the world, day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, all for His glory. Just imagine your support here, how important it is to this ministry and to the growth of this ministry. You are our congregation. You are our supporters. Every penny, every dime, every money we get from this ministry, for this ministry, is strictly from viewers like you. We don't have a single entity or organization locally or beyond that support us financially. So please remember us in your offerings, in your giving, in your trust giving. All that money used for God's glory. It does not pay my salary or the salary of the leadership or the board. It is all for God's glory. May Jesus bless you richly. Keep us in your prayers and be generous in your giving to this project.